Thanks for joining us today, and welcome to Georgetown. This breathtaking community sits about 8,530 feet above sea level. It's nestled in the Clear Creek Valley. In fact, this is the county seat of Clear Creek County. It's what's referred to as a territorial charter municipality. However, most people just refer to it as a semi-abandoned town. It's because it once housed 10,000 residents at its peak, but now houses a little over 1,000 people. This town is far from dead, and is fortunate not to be a complete ghost town or have succumbed to fire. In fact, it's one of the most well-preserved mining communities from the mid-1800s. The town was started as a simple gold mining camp in 1859 during the Pikes Peak Gold Rush. Gold gave Georgetown its start, however, it was silver that made the town the largest silver producer in Colorado until 1879 when Leadville surpassed it. Although the town is small today, it was a historic cultural and industrial center through the 19th century, earning itself the nickname the Silver Queen of Colorado. The town experienced less violence than its neighbors, even though it had its share of undesirables and vagrants. Fortunately, it remained mostly stable, allowing the economy and culture to flourish outside of the mine and its camps. This was one of the facts that convinced a young entrepreneur to heavily invest in the community and its culture. In 1875, Louis Dupuis purchased and renovated an existing building into what we now call the Hotel de Paris. The hotel's opulence was unrivaled and unheard of in the region. The demand for the hotel exceeded the rooms it had. Even during slow periods, Dupuis would personally approve each guest. Many were turned away for reasons only known to Mr. Dupuis. The hotel quickly became famous around the world for its high-class atmosphere and sophisticated French dining. This, coupled with the rugged mountain atmosphere, made for a great juxtaposition that visitors raved about. The success of the Hotel de Paris was desperately needed by Louis. He was the heir to a vast fortune and had squandered his inheritance. During this period, he dabbled in a lot of things but really succeeded at little. He entered the seminary in hopes of joining the priesthood. When that didn't work out, he went to culinary school. He settled in New York for a time before being caught for plagiarism, where he ended up doing a stint in the U.S. Army. For an unknown reason, he deserted and actually changed his name to the name we know today, Louis Dupuis, from Adolphe Francis Girard. It's a pretty interesting story how he had such a terrible start to his life, but ended up being an integral part to this community. You can read a little bit more about it in the blog below. Looking at here is one of my favorite things in the town. This is the Nessel grocery store. In fact, this grocery store is still operated by the Nessel family, and the structure it's built in houses 3 shop bays that were originally built by Henry Nessel back in 1892. The following year, in 1893, he built all of the cabinetry we're looking at here to his personal specifications, and it's amazing that it's still used to this day. In fact, the Nessel Anderson store is the oldest continuously operated business in Georgetown, which I would imagine puts it very high in the running for the oldest business in Colorado. It's amazing that all of this cabinetry has held up for well over 100 years. It's even more amazing that the Nessel family is still the people behind that counter after all of this time. Building next to this is also a single bay store, but it was built a little bit later. It was initially built to be a grocery store, but in about 1912, they made it the Nessel Anderson hardware store, branching out into the Nessel Anderson hardware line, and the grocery store became the Nessel grocery store. Honestly though, if you're a fan of architecture like I am, this is a must-see, and if you're in the Denver area, it's not very far. And don't be intimidated in wintertime. It's well plowed, and there's so much architecture to see. Beyond the architecture, the Hotel de Paris is now a museum. It's not open year-round, but it is very entertaining when you get in there. It is in mint condition. And that's really why I wanted to share this town with you, because it's mint. It's what we call cherry. It's perfect. I mean, it has been preserved. And that's partially due to its strict zoning codes, and really the dedication of the families and the communities that make up the year-round residents here. While a lot of the shops do close for the season, a mainstay and must-see is the Georgetown Valley Candy Company. This building has been a lot of things over the years, and you'll see some evidence of that as you look around. But today, it's just good old fun. Sweets, sugar, hot chocolate in the winter. You got your ice cream in the summer. In fact, here we have, it says the Silver Queen. So I did talk to them a little bit about that, and apparently it was at one point a saloon, the Silver Queen. It had some sordid tales about its saloon days. It went through a brief period as a chapel, but the longest open entity here is the candy shop we're looking at. And I mean, if you want it, they have it. I mean, right down to the candy cigarettes if you're looking for them. Seriously though, this is another great family and community-oriented business. I recommend you stop by. If you're a fan of the Federalist architecture style, this town's going to have a few treats. You're going to see a few examples of very early Federalist architecture, and they're combining brick with wood, which is unusual for the style. There's also a traditional blue post office, and for those of you not from the States, this is kind of a rare bird. This is the old-fashioned look to a post office. It's the traditional format, wood timber post office, and it's great to see it still standing and still operating as a U.S. post office. You're going to see some mining ruins and things to that effect, but really what's great about this town is all the well-preserved trinkets and history. The public school is now a museum that you can visit. The architecture itself is a great walking tour, and it also has some really fun little back streets like this. I really recommend you take a stop at Georgetown, and really do appreciate you guys spending some time with us today. Thanks for watching, and please do like, comment, and subscribe.